We're also going to bring in Jacquie and Betsy to join us in this conversation. You know, Betsy, we had General Blaine Holt on earlier in the last hour, and he said, okay, there's no leads, no conclusion, no suspects. Doesn't that mean you should continue the investigation instead of halt the investigation?
Exactly. This is very fishy, and I keep thinking, unsolved mystery. Perhaps it's the same perpetrator who leaked Justice Samuel Alito's draft in the abortion decision. They closed that investigation without finding anything either. It's very fishy that these investigations are simply quietly shut. Nothing to see here, everyone. Move on.
Yeah, and by the way, Jacquie, we still have that investigation that's still open on Hunter Biden, right?
Yes.
And we've got numerous, as General Holt was pointing out, we have investigations in Washington that are lasting 5 years.
Absolutely.
And suddenly, after a week and a half or whatever the exact time is,
5
it's
minutes,
like, yeah, it's over.
Yes.
Whoa. First of all, there's a limited number of people who could have been there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody has to log in.
Exactly.
You don't go in without getting logged in. And it's so funny because if this had happened at Mar-a-Lago or with Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump, this would be a different kind of investigation. But if we look at since the Biden administration has taken over the White House, we have had the fences around the White House at the beginning of the inauguration, and the National Guard was there, and the National Guard was underground in subways, and they weren't getting fed when they were under there doing service for the country. And then we've had the topless transgender on the White House lawn. We've had so many peculiar, unfavorable White House things going on since we've been doing this.
Like very poor security at the least.
All of that.
Yeah. Can I ask Ron a question? Go ahead, Ron. You were saying something.
Actually, there were 500 people who could have done this. The Secret Service identified about 500 people, many of them not employees. There'd be no way to force them to take drug tests. They were just visitors. So let's be a little practical about this. This is 1 ounce of cocaine, and there are much more important things to do than spend.
Fair enough. Let me ask you your opinion, Ron, from your experience, which goes back before Watergate. What your thoughts are on the allegations that parts of the government now are more politicized and being utilized for political purposes, even though, ironically, I always will point out that JFK's Attorney General was RFK, but we'll leave that aside for a minute. There are people that feel like these institutions are being used politically. Do you agree with that?
Well, again, things are getting all mixed up here. The fact is that under James Comey, the FBI was very corrupt, absolutely. Made up all kinds of things, went after Trump for no reason. I've written about that. But now, under Wray, there's no evidence of anything improper. Every now and then they make a little mistake, but I think he's done an honest job. He's totally replaced those individuals, or they retired.
Okay.
There's nothing more he could do. We should be grateful that we have an FBI that does such a good job of keeping us safe, rolling up terrorists, not going against the law. And in fact, Wray criticized that memo saying that the FBI should look into the school board utterance in Virginia. Of course, that hasn't been played up very much, but he was very honest about that.
Yeah, I want to take a look at this. Eric Bolling had Senator Ted Cruz on yesterday, right here on Newsmax, and he says this FBI is the most politicized we have ever seen. Take a listen.
I think we are witnessing the most partisan and politicized Department of Justice this nation's ever seen. I think we're witnessing the most partisan and politicized FBI this nation has ever seen. And sadly, Chris Wray has been unwilling to take on the hardcore partisans who burrowed into senior career positions at the FBI. They are stonewalling to protect Joe Biden. They are stonewalling to stop investigation.
That's ridiculous, because all of these individuals are long since gone from the FBI. The idea that they're still there and Wray could take action is just absurd.
All right, okay. Ronald Kessler, really appreciate your being with us. Thank you so much. And of course, Jacquie and Betsy, stick around.